Okay, so sorry for the interruption. I forgot I was doing by elimination. So as you can see here, I started doing it by substitution. I actually did all of it by substitution. I had to go back and erase everything. So my bad. Oh well, let's move on with life. Okay, so we're actually doing it by elimination. So first of all, right here, I guess it's a good thing I highlighted it, right? So we can see that these are not on top of each other. So you have to make sure you write it so that the equations are on top of each other. Quit moving that, please. So then we're going to have the 2x, it's a positive 2x, and then plus y equals negative 6. We can see that these x's don't match and the y's don't match, right? So you're going to make one of them match. So I'm going to go on ahead and multiply this equation by 3 because my goal is to get these y's to match, right? So when I multiply by 3, we end up with the equations 6x plus 3y equals negative 12. 3 times 2x is 6x. 3 times y is a positive 3y. And then 3 times negative 6 is going to be negative 18. So remember, the variables we chose to eliminate were these y's. So 3y and a positive 3y are the same sign. So remember, triple S. So if they're the same sign, we subtract. So subtract, subtract, subtract. So 6 minus 6 is 0, which we already know can happen. So don't like freak out. 3 minus 3 is also 0. Negative 12 minus negative 18, this would turn into a plus. So this is going to be a positive 6. So does 0 equal a positive 6? Absolutely not. They're not equivalent. So this means that there is no solution, which means these lines are parallel to each other. Okay, example 8. Again, ignore the random highlights. I am so sorry. I did the substitution. I had to go back and erase everything. So ignore the highlights, right? So we're going to use, again, we're going to use this to force my y's to match just so that it's not as confusing, right? So because I want these to match, this is an 8 at the top. So I want this to be an 8 at the bottom. The only way to get that is to multiply this entire thing, right? The whole equation by 8 and then distribute that 8. So we're going to end up with 56x plus 8y equals negative 32. So that's the top one. We're just going to keep that. And then this bottom one, so 8 times 7 is 56x. 8 times y is a positive 8y. And 8 times negative 4 is a negative 32. You should see something happening already, right? If you don't, that's okay. We said that we wanted our y's to match, and they do. So what are we going to do to eliminate the y? When we have, remember, same sign, when you have the same sign, you subtract. So subtract, subtract, subtract. So 56 minus 56 is 0. 8 minus 8 is 0. And then negative 32 minus negative 32, this turns into a plus. So negative 32 plus 32 would be 0. So we have 0 equals 0. Well, does 0 equal 0? Yeah. So what does that mean? Infinite solutions, which means that these are coincident lines, which means that I have two lines that are on top of each other. Okay, so example 9. Again, I had already started working this out, okay? Sorry, and I had to start over because I realized that I did it with the wrong method. Okay, so what I had written down already is tickets ideal, right? So when we have a word problem, think of what's ideal. Identify, define, explore, answer, look back. So tickets to a local movie were sold out at $8.50 for adults. That was important. $4 for children. And if 345 tickets were sold for a total of 2,370, how many adult tickets were sold? So here I went on ahead and identified my variables. The first variable I was able to identify was A for the number of adult tickets, and I knew this because of my question. How many adult tickets were sold? Because it's asking for that, obviously it means that I don't know what it is, so that has to be